Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in case you haven't heard, gyms are finally going to be able to start opening back up tomorrow. And for those of you who don't know, I live in Florida. Obviously, the rate at which the economy is opening back up is going to change from state to state. But in Florida, as of last week, bars and restaurants were able to open up to about 25% capacity, which is actually really nice because even though the wife and I still aren't going out to eat, we are ordering and trying to support local businesses. And seeing people out when we would go pick up our food is nice. It's nice to see the economy starting to go back to normal. And then as of this week, bars and restaurants are going to be able to open up to like 50% capacity, and it was announced that gyms could open up to a limited capacity as well. And a lot of people are super excited about this, including myself, but the wife says you are not allowed to go to the gym, and I'll explain to you guys why, and that is kind of the point of this video. What is the risk worth the reward? Should we be going to gyms right away? Is going to the gym the same as going to the grocery store? What's the difference? Are the risks higher? These are all things I think that we should kind of discuss down in the comment section below and have a little bit of a healthy debate. I don't want to make it political. That's not what this is about, but I do want to make a few things very clear. Number one, obviously I'm not a doctor or expert on coronavirus, but I do possess the uncanny ability to do my own research and figure things out, okay? So I'm going to be presenting information to you guys based on my own research of what I've been seeing going on both on the news and then searching online and just trying to figure this out. Because like many of you, I just want to make sure that I keep myself and my family safe. And number two, I'm not going to tell you guys what you should and shouldn't do. I'm just going to present my opinion on the subject because I don't think I'm in any position to tell you guys what to do. Number one, I'm not your mom. And number two, I think it's very hypocritical of me if I were to tell you guys not to go to the gym while I'm sitting here in my home gym with my full dumbbell rack, my cable machine, my squat rack, and basically everything I need to the point to where I don't have to go to the gym. Nothing gets me more angry, like I'm sure many of you, when you see these celebrities talking about how we're in this together, and we all know that they're staying home in like their $10 million mansions, basically having every single thing they need at their fingertips, right? Now granted, I don't have a $10 million mansion, but I do have a beautiful home. I have a home gym, and I kind of have a pool. It doesn't have any water in it yet, but I can still pretend if I use my imagination. So I just want to make that clear, guys. This video is more about discussing whether or not it's safe going to the gym, and I just kind of want to share with you guys my concerns, and I just want to make sure you guys stay safe. The last thing I want is to tell you guys, hey, gyms are safe to go to, and then you catch coronavirus and you bring it home, and then someone you care about gets seriously sick, or, worst of all, dies from it, right? And that's the main concern I have with this, obviously. For those of you guys who don't know, my wife has Lyme disease, so she has a compromised immune system, and my daughter has asthma. And so if you have a compromised immune system or asthma, you're more at risk for the coronavirus, right? But even more than that, you could be perfectly healthy and still catch the coronavirus and die from it. It's like a game of Russian roulette. Like you really don't know how you are going to react when you catch it. My wife's aunt just died last week. Granted, she was a little older. She was 60, but she was perfectly healthy, had nothing wrong with her, caught coronavirus, and then she was dead. It sucks, right? It's scary. There was a police chief in Florida when this thing first hit. 38, 39 years old, perfectly healthy dude, got corona and died. So like, this is serious. This is something that you guys have to seriously think about, and I think the gym has a lot more risk than going to a restaurant or going to the grocery store, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about right now. And because I think the number one thing that people get confused about, and this is partly because of what you see on the news and then like memes that people post that gain a lot of traction, think about it like this, right? When you really want something, even if that thing you want isn't good for you, you're going to try to justify it in your head as much as possible so that you feel comfortable making that decision that you probably know isn't the best decision you should be making. We all do it all the time, right? It's a part of life. And so a lot of people talk about the mortality rate of coronavirus. They say the mortality rate of coronavirus is much lower when compared to other viruses, and they always compare it to the flu, right? Well, I don't want to get political and talk about like flu numbers versus corona numbers and all of that, but in general, that's what people say. The mortality rate of the coronavirus is lower than people who die from the flu every single year. And it's a lot of people who die every single year from the flu. Anyways, moving on from there. The problem with coronavirus is that it's it's like super contagious. Very contagious. And that's the fear with corona. And that's the fear with opening up the economy, is that maybe the mortality rate isn't as high, but because it's spread so easy and so fast, it's going to be really easy to have another outbreak like we did before we shut the economy down. Believe it or not, so my wife checks the new cases every single day in Florida. But since we opened up bars and restaurants last week to 25% capacity, as much as people are saying like, hey, everything is fine, everything is okay, our daily rate of new cases shot right back up again. And that's concerning, especially to me. And the wife doesn't want me going to the gym because if cases are going up, and that's going to places like bars and restaurants where you're still socially distancing and you're not touching each other, you're not really talking to other people, you're not exercising, you're not sweating, you're not breathing heavy, you're not touching things other people are touching as much as you would at a gym. Imagine what's going to happen when a gym opens up, even if it's opened up at, 25% capacity, right? Think about what happens when you go to the gym. But you know what, even before we get into that, I think we should talk about, masks, because everyone thinks they put on a mask and then they're safe from everything. This is an N95 mask. This is a mask that's going to protect, for the most part, things going out and things going in. The way the mask is designed, the average size of the coronavirus is larger than like the mesh the mask is made out of. So that protects it from coming in. Now, your surgical mask, this isn't to protect you from other people. This is to protect other people from you infecting them. That's what this mask is for. So going to the gym wearing this mask is very different than wearing this one. Because if you're the one infected, wearing this one is probably okay if you sneeze or cough, because that's what this really is protecting. I saw an interesting study that my wife showed me where, for example, if you were in the grocery store and you coughed in aisle 3, the virus can travel to like aisle 6, right? Like when you touch things, it can live on cardboard for like a day or two or something like that. Or if you touch a surface, it can stay on that surface for a few hours. And that's what makes it so scary. So if you're going to the gym wearing an N95 mask, you're a lot better protected from things going out and in. This mask is just protecting you possibly from infecting other people. So anyways, getting past that. The biggest concern going to the gym for me isn't so much wearing the mask and breathing the air in. It's these built up habits we have of how we are in the gym. And what I mean by that is, you're touching everything. So if you're touching dumbbells, you're touching a machine, you're touching barbells, you're touching plates, your hands are, if there's coronavirus in your gym, whether you're wearing gloves or not, it's gonna get on your hands, right? And then think about this. Think about like the small things that happen every single time you go to the gym. You get an itch on your nose because you're just working out or whatever. You scratch your nose. Whether you have your mask on or not, whatever's on your hand is now on your face or on the mask that's on your face. Or let's say you're getting really sweaty. It's not so much the sweat that's contagious, it's that you wiping your face with your hand or going like this is now whatever's on your hands or on your glove is now on your face. Or let's say you're getting off of like a chair. Let's say you're doing like a seated shoulder press, right? And you grab the machine to pull yourself up, or you push off the chair, or you're bench pressing and you roll up and your hands touch the bench. Then you lay back down on the bench, or the person before you touched the bench with their hands and you lay on the bench. Now whatever's on the bench is on your clothes. Like the rate at which this can transfer and spread in a gym, even if they're doing their best to sanitize everything, is still much faster than going to a grocery store. Even if you go to a grocery store right now, the aisles are basically changed to one way. They're trying to limit as much like face-to-face interaction as possible. And also when you go to the grocery store, you're only touching the things, granted, that you're going to be buying, right? Like you don't go to the grocery store and touch every little thing there. Or even if you go to a restaurant, you basically walk in, you say hello to the hostess, you go sit down at your seat, and then you touch the menu, and the only other thing you'll probably touch besides your food and your tableware is the door if you go to the restroom, right? So it's very limited as to, you're still touching stuff, but it's very limited when compared to going to the gym. So obviously by now in the video, it probably sounds like I'm super against going to the gym even though they're opening. And I want the economy to go back to normal just as much as you guys. I mean, for what I do for a business, I need you guys to be able to go to the gym. I need you guys to be able to exercise in a gym with equipment so I can give you videos on how to do it and tips on how to do it better, right? Like that's where I make my money. I'd be lying if I didn't say to you guys that I didn't take a hit. I took a huge hit since this happened. Everybody on YouTube has taken a huge hit since this has happened. And fitness is no different, right? You can only work out from home so much. And so with that being said, if you guys want to go to the gym and you want to see what it's like, because granted, they open tomorrow. So I don't know what precautions the gym is taking to make sure that it's a safe environment or as safe as they can make it be. They could have some crazy plan that I don't even know about that makes sense. So we're going to find that out tomorrow. But if you guys do want to go to the gym, just be very conscientious of your decisions of what you're doing and why you're there. Like for example, right? If your goal is fat loss and you just want to do some cardio or you just want to burn, a maximum amount of calories, I think you should be smart and you should just, play it safe. Stay home, go for a run outside for your cardio. If you can't run outside, maybe try to get like a jump rope or something. You can jump rope anywhere. Or if you want to do a circuit, there's tons of circuits on YouTube that you can use. I have obviously tons of videos. I've been putting out like 2 to 3 circuit training workout routines a week since the virus hit. Body weight only, dumbbells only, resistance bands. There's lots to choose from. I think the smart move would be to train at home and do those things. Now, obviously, if you are trying to get back into the gym, get your gains back on track. For example, I have friends that were supposed to be doing bodybuilding shows. I heard that the Olympia is back on track. There's certain things that you can probably only do at the gym. For example, for you guys, maybe you have some weights at home, but you don't have enough weight to do the heavy compound movements. Maybe you just do those in the gym and you try to limit your time there. And like be very smart and like plan out your path, right? Like I'm gonna go in the gym, I'm gonna hit this exercise, and this exercise, and I'm gonna try to do movements to target muscle groups that kind of keep me in one area. One of the things that I do at the gym that I'm guilty of is I like to bounce around to all different kinds of machines. Maybe instead of doing that, focus on doing more sets and reps on one specific movement that's gonna give you the most bang for your buck versus jumping from exercise to exercise to exercise to exercise. And we've talked about this even before the coronavirus hit, right? Like if you're gonna go to the gym and your goal is to get a big chest, why not just stay on the bench press for 8 to 10 sets versus doing 3 sets there, which is your compound movement that gives you the most bang for your buck, and then doing like 3 or 4 different variations of chest flies. Like a chest fly compared to benching heavy weight is very different. You're gonna grow a lot more from this than doing the isolation work with the flies, right? So maybe don't do the flies anymore and just focus on your heavy compounds. So there are ways to go around it, but at the end of the day, what you guys should be doing is checking the infection rates daily. And that's kind of where the wife and I are right now in terms of when we're gonna go back to the gym. As the economy starts to open up, we're gonna continue to check those daily rates of how many people are getting infected a day. And if we see the spike continue to go up, we're not gonna be going to the gym for a while. I'm probably not gonna go until things start opening and the infection rate starts going down. And how long that's gonna take, I don't know. I can't tell the future. And it could be a month, could be 2 months. Who knows? It's scary to think about. But just in terms of safety for myself and my family and the people around me, I'm probably not gonna be going to the gym. And if I absolutely had to go to the gym, I did not have all this equipment at home, it would be to do exactly like I just said to you guys. I would go in, I'd hit my heavy compounds, and then I would get out and try to be in there for as little time as possible. So I would love to know what you guys think about this whole thing. I know it's crazy, right? It's like we're living in a bad movie for the last 2 months. It's crazy, it's scary, it really is. But you know what? Things will turn around eventually, and we need to stay positive because at least keeping our mind healthy and keeping our attitudes positive is gonna help keep us in a good place. And the last thing we wanna do is fall into depression because a lot of really bad things happen when you fall into deep depression, right? So guys, don't get depressed. Don't think the world is out to get you. Things will turn around eventually, but just please make smart decisions and stay safe. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I would love to talk about this down in the comment section below. And if you guys enjoyed the video, show some love, tap that like button, And as always, more good stuff coming soon.